Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Mount & Blade Warband, our 10th anniversary series. We're in the siege of Grunwalder Castle, and actually one of the most interesting things I've heard very recently, thanks to one of you in the comments actually, is that this castle, according to the lore, which I never thought I would say that, but according to the lore, Bunduck actually tells you, or tells the player character, that Grunwalder Castle is extremely difficult to take, or at the very least has, kind of a reputation to uphold. And that was extremely interesting to me, so I was really pleased to actually hear about that. So thank you very much for letting me know, because I had no idea that that was the case, because I thought to myself, this is just me being terrible, you know what I mean? Because, as you can quite clearly tell, I'm dead again. Yes, I'm dead again. I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to go in here, see how it goes, and if things don't go so well, then I'm just going to leave and maybe return at a later time. I'm not entirely sure, but if we take a look at the armies next to us here, you see here we got Mr. Nelag, and we have Olaf, as well as Nada. They're actually not doing too badly in regards to their what was it now? Their survivability, I guess you could kind of call it. And their forces are actually being quite good at staying alive. But yeah, anyway, as I said, the lore surrounding this particular castle, apparently there was, you know what? I actually can't even remember the details of it, but Bunduck tells the player character something when they are in the party and you go close to Grunwalder Castle. Apparently it was something like a soldier or something, or a commander died on this spot, and it was like a really, well-known commander or something along those lines, and it basically made it so that this castle was difficult to take, pretty much. That's kind of like the lore surrounding it. If you want to check out the comment, it's on the previous video. It's on the previous episode. It's probably going to be pretty interesting. At least I think it's pretty interesting. Otherwise, let's go in here once again. I just wanted to, I probably should have waited a little bit longer, but you know what? I'm just gonna wait a little bit more at the back of the bus. Not a big fan of doing that, to be honest, because it does mean that we are now going to, have a little bit of a delay in the amount of fun and action that we can have. But, as you can quite clearly tell, there are so many veteran crossbowmen in the garrison that it is making things very uncomfortable for us indeed. And as you could no doubt tell, even though I was able to get onto the battlements, that didn't actually remain that way. And we very quickly found ourselves completely outnumbered because my forces all died. There wasn't much I could do about that. And wow, what is actually even going on here? I'm literally just getting shot from every single angle, and I'm not able to really I'm not able to defend myself in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of sad. Okay, maybe I'm just going to stand here. I guess I'm just going to stand here. But yeah, this is exactly the reason why I said to you beforehand, can you imagine? Okay, now just bear with me here. Can you imagine these trained crossbowmen and veteran crossbowmen? That's not the highest level of unit that they can have that wields crossbows. Yeah, I mean, literally, think about that. This is literally a defensive force comprised of, what is it now, tier 2 and tier 3 and maybe even tier 4 units. They don't even have the highest tier of crossbowmen here, which is just absolutely shocking to me, because if you think about it, that means that it could be even worse for us. It could be even worse for us, and that's exactly what I was talking about in a previous episode where I said, hey, you know what, it's probably a good idea that we actually attack the Rhodoks now, because otherwise we're going to have a situation where we're just up against 50 to 60 Rhodok sharpshooters. And you know how I feel about those guys. Oh yeah, don't even get me started. They are so incredibly powerful, they really are. Anyway, I'm just going to continually stand here. I'm basically just going to stand here. There's not much more I can do, to be honest. I mean, I'm going to lose so many units doing this, unfortunately. But that's, I can't really do much else, you know. So if I don't know, I can't really do much else. So I'm just gonna have to wait here and see what happens. I mean, we've got another 53 enemy units to kill, and it's actually remarkable that we are losing so many people just to crossbowmen, just to crossbowmen. It's actually ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, you see exactly what's happening here. It's I don't even know. I don't even know, because I'm obviously not doing anything. And as I've said before, I've been talking about this in both of the series that I'm currently running, and I've been talking about positive effect that the player character can have. And at the moment, what is my positive effect? What am I actually doing right now? The only thing I'm doing is staying alive and enabling us to continue the battle. Because if I die, that's it. We're out of here, you know? So that's pretty much the only thing we can do, which is actually pitiful and really, really awful. Look at that guy, he's hanging out. Yeah, that's a classic, isn't it? Indeed, indeed. Anyway, I'm gonna actually wait a little bit longer here, just until the enemies get below 20 or so units, and then we're just gonna retreat. There's no real reason for us to continue all the way to the end, because what we can do is we can just ask for a surrender of the remaining units, and we should be completely fine. There we go. Oh, there are enemies nearby? Are you serious? There are not actually enemies nearby, but okay. I mean, they're pretty far away from me at the moment. They're on the walls, of course. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to tell... Yeah, as you can see, we're now going to force them to surrender. I'll give you my word, and so on and so forth. And then they're out of there, and there you go. That is exactly what we wanted to do in the end. Okay, so I ended up losing a lot of Swadian Knights. I don't know whether you saw how many units in general I lost, but I lost about 15 or so, and I'm pretty sure quite a few of those were Swadian Knights. I can't do much about it, though, of course. I can't choose who dies and who lives and so on and so forth. Anyway, I'm actually going to think about taking the Mountain Bandits here, and then we're just going to take a couple of smatterings of random loot, and then we're just going to give... I think I'm going to give Lord Nadar this castle, to be honest, because he actually came over and assisted us with this. But he's actually, as far as I'm aware, he does have pretty good relation with us at the moment, so I'm not sure if it's really necessary, but I'm going to give it to him nevertheless, because that, of course, does increase the amount of units he has available to him. Okay, so Lord Rayek is not looking particularly good for me, as you can see. He has a negative relation of 26, which is certainly something that I would like to try and avoid if at all possible. Don't really want to give him... Don't want to really give him fiefs, because then all of a sudden he's going to leave the faction, and then we're just out of a fief, and you know, the vassals gone away, and it's just going to be terrible. So yeah, don't think I really want to do anything about him at the moment. I'm thinking we might try and take Urgelon Castle. I'd love to take Valuka, but now after seeing Grunwalder Castle, although to be fair, as I said before, according to the lore, it's supposed to be difficult to take, which kind of says a lot to me, because indeed it was. It was actually very, very difficult to take. There are 40 units there as well now, which is actually quite nice. Can I actually catch this guy? Is he? He actually allowed me to catch him. Oh, that's hilarious. All right, I actually had no idea that that would even happen. We're just gonna send them in, even if we do lose a couple of people. I'm not gonna go in for a battle against this guy. I mean, I'm not gonna take the time to do that, and we're just gonna leave the rest of the loot. Okay, so now here's the deal. Okay, if this particular layout in Valuka is awful, which I'm gonna assume it probably is, because it feels to me like the Rodok's siege layouts are specifically designed to just mess me up. I'm obviously being a bit paranoid about that, but okay, you know, it kind of feels to me like they are just designed to, you know, screw with me a bit, but we'll see if that is indeed the case. I'm actually just going to run around a little bit, just try and get some additional units just to kind of shore up our forces a little bit. And Grunwalder Castle is, of course, under siege, but that's actually not that big a deal, because what we want to do is we want to try and lure them out as much as we can, and then we're just going to go back there and we'll try and intercept them. Now I'm going to approach them from an angle where I can hopefully intercept without them being able to escape. Which, ooh, okay. We might have some issues with defeating these guys. Yeah, this might be... Can I win the... Oh no, I don't even know whether I can win the siege. Oh, okay. We're gonna go in 128 versus 289. I'm actually unsure. How many archers do I have? 4. Okay, yeah, that's not looking particularly good. However, this is Grunwalder Castle. This possibly couldn't be a more fitting siege layout for us to defend against an overwhelming enemy force, because they only have one ladder that they can enter by, and from my reckoning, if I'm able to get to the front here and actually deal damage appropriately with my Bardiche, I shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. This should be an absolutely wonderful wonderful victory for us, although to be fair, that's a big stipulation though. I say if I can get to the front and actually do damage and contribute to the fight, then that's obviously going to be a pretty big deal. If I can't... Oh, actually, you know what? I've got a crossbow. Never mind. Okay, apparently that's not really working out to me. For me, even. Okay, so wait a minute. Let me see if I can do something here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, that was some nice damage that guy did to me. That was really, really annoying. Alright, not too good. But it's okay, because the more damage that we can do with my crossbow, the better. It seems like a couple of people have now moved away from their position over here, so I would like to get more damage out if I can, but it's a bit worrying. I can't shoot from around here, unfortunately. This guy is so annoying. What is he doing? He's just standing out. See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. He just stood there, got shot in the face. That's what he gets, I guess, because generally I was actually not wanting to... you know, I was actually wanting to stand there myself, but he was blocking me, and yeah, well, that's what he gets. You know, that's what he gets for blocking me, I suppose. There we go. Nice little bit of damage right there. And this is exactly what we're going to be doing for the remainder of this siege. We're just going to be shooting with our crossbow, but we've got to be a bit careful here as well, because the enemy has crossbowmen. Do bear in mind, they are good. They are actually good, they're ranged units. So the more that I can get headshots, the more that I can shoot them, the better. And we're going to get, you know, we're going to be getting some pretty nice proficiency in the process as well. Getting some nice headshots too, surprisingly enough, considering my proficiency is pretty awful. What's actually going on here? This guy is stuck, as you can quite clearly tell. Okay, yeah, that's pretty funny. Anyway, I'm just going to shoot here. We're going to use the small little battlement area here to kind of protect us from any possible crossbow attack. Although, yeah, third-person shooting in Warband, yeah, don't even get me started on how inaccurate that is. I much prefer third-person shooting in Bannerlord, but in Warband, it's a bit unreliable. Let's just say that it's a bit unreliable. Don't know why, to be honest, because it should theoretically be quite similar, but no. It is not. It is much, much worse to fire in third person in Warband, that is for sure. Anyway, yeah, we are basically done. I think we are pretty much done. There doesn't seem to be much that the opponent can even do, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. You see exactly how amazingly defensive this fief even is. It's actually crazy how amazing it is. Oh, hello. Now I'm getting shot. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, the fact that they only have one ladder as well makes all the difference. I mean, you've seen that. I mean, you saw... We were on the other side of this, literally in the last episode. You know, I tried to take it once because, you know, then I basically just thought to myself, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go away. And you know what? No, I'm actually pretty glad that we've taken this. Because the best thing we can do now is just lure enemy vassals to this place. If they want to try and take it, they're going to have to get through Grunwalder Castle. And apparently this is literally the, shall we say, the Everest of Warband. Because I I don't even have any archers. That's what's really, really funny about this as well, because imagine if I actually had archers manning the various archery areas on the keep around here, on the walls. Yeah, no one is going to be able to take this in that sense. I'm actually getting shot, which is really, really bad. Am I safe here? Yeah, I think I'm relatively safe here. But yeah, you can see here, I literally have, what? 1, 2. I have 2 archers. I have 2 archers, and you see how incredibly easy this is to defend already. And I don't even have the appropriate setup for it. If I had, I don't even know, if I had 25 archers total, I would probably be absolutely fine to defend against any number of units. Well, obviously not over 1,000 or something, but I would definitely be able to do a lot better than we are right now, which says a huge amount about the siege layout. This is just absolutely ridiculous that such a layout can make this much of a difference. And I know I've said, you know, some sieges very specifically are nightmare sieges, and I actually never thought that Grunwalder Castle was this difficult to take. I'm really surprised actually, because it indeed is a siege ladder castle. It's a siege ladder castle. You wouldn't think, whoa, this is going to be really difficult. No, you wouldn't think that, right? Because indeed, it's a siege ladder. It's not a siege tower. You're not going to have to wait for you know, multiple days to be able to build your siege equipment to get in here, and then you're not also going to have to wait for the siege tower to reach the battlements. It's already laid down there, you know, the siege ladder is already there. You can pretty much just go, you know, go up onto the battlements anytime you want. However, look at the overlooking, yes, that's the word, overlooking areas that the archers can station. It's just so powerful for them. And it's really weird as well, because you see, I don't know whether you've been looking at the text log, but I only have 2 archers. I actually only have 1 archer now. But there are 2 archers that I can see. Actually, there are 3 archers that I can see right now. And the text log, every I don't know, every couple of seconds, I'm seeing a kill from a Nord archer or a Saranid master archer. And those are basically the only archers I have. And they're still getting kills. It's ridiculous. It really is. Wow. I'm actually really surprised. Obviously someone, I mean, here's the thing. I've played, you know, thousands of hours, right? Played thousands of hours. And I have never thought to myself once that Grunwalder Castle is difficult to take. Or easy to defend, or whatever you want to call it. I have always thought that there's that one castle that I know of where you go into the front gate and then you're surrounded on all sides once you're in the courtyard, and you have to go up the siege ladder inside the actual castle to get onto the battlements to fight the enemy. I've always thought that that one is the most difficult to take. It's again not a siege tower, but it is a siege ladder, and it's kind of similar to this, I suppose, because indeed, you're going to have to deal with the various archers that are overlooking the courtyard, and they're going to have great angles on you, and it's going to be very difficult to defend, well, anything, basically, from there, because your shield is not going to protect from 360 degrees all the way around you. So, of course, that's going to be a bit of an issue, but that's the thing. That's the one that I have always kept in my mind's eye. I believe it's actually a... Is that a Vegir fief? Or it's on the border, I think. It's on the border between the Vegirs and the Khergits, as far as I'm aware. Anyway, unfortunately, we are now in a situation where there are 2 enemies just kind of chilling over there. And, oh, I actually hit him. Are you serious? The enemy's units kind of get stuck at the very beginning spawn point, and it makes things well, it kind of just makes things hang a bit, which is kind of annoying. So I'm going to have to retreat, really unfortunately. We did gain 28 morale, but I obviously just lost the entirety of my renown rewards, but that's okay, I guess, because we can now go into a battle against them straight away, and they have 0. And we're now going to be able to either take them prisoner or let them go. Obviously, this guy already has a pretty decent relation with us because he is an honorable vassal. So we're just going to be letting him go once again and getting a little bit more relation with him. Because you never know, maybe he's going to join us in sometime in the near future. Ooh, we've got some pretty nice rescued prisoners right here. All right, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Okay, so let me see what I can do about this. I don't really want the Sea Raider, so I'm just going to let him go. And we're going to let the... we're probably going to let the Watchman go as well, all things considered, because you can see here, look at these guys. We're actually getting some rather wonderful Vagier horsemen. Of course, Vagier horsemen, they're not amazing, but they're okay. And I don't really want the militia either. I mean, I really do want to keep the Swadian units. I really want to keep the Swadian units, but I am kind of wanting to take a couple more Vagiers. So I'm just going to get them out of there. And we'll take this and a veteran, and there we have it. Okay. And there we are. Okay, so fantastic. We were able to defend Grunwalder Castle against a very much superior force of enemy units. And that says everything you need to know, really, doesn't it? Yeah, that says absolutely everything you need to know. These castles are so incredibly, shall we say, misleading. And as I say, I've always thought that siege towers, with the exception of that one nightmare layout that I have told you about, I've always thought that those castles, the ones with siege ladders, they're always pretty easy to deal with. You know, they shouldn't be difficult. They should be, you know, pretty simple. You know, you shouldn't have to worry too much about taking them because, of course, you know, there's very little setup. There's very little setup required, you know, you're going to be going in there, you got your ladder already down, it's pretty easy to build it on the campaign map, you don't need to worry about waiting, and then, you know, if you do get defeated, then you pretty much have, well, no time loss whatsoever. You can just build it once again, you can build the siege ladders once again really, really fast. And obviously this is reduced even further if you have a good deal of engineering skill. But obviously a siege tower, on the other hand, it's punishing. It's very, very punishing. Yeah, for example, if Grunwalder Castle had a siege tower... oh no, don't even get me started on that. Ooh, that is literally one of the... No, that's going to give me nightmares. Let's not do that. Let's not talk about that. Anyway, I'm going to go to Uxkhal real fast because I've actually realized that I am pretty low on food. And I'd like to sell a couple of my other things. Oh, actually, my chipped war cleaver. I don't want to sell that. And my one-handed axe. Thank you very much. And we also have the heavy iron mace. I'm not sure whether I really want to keep the heavy iron mace. It's really good for taking prisoners. Don't get me wrong. It's really good for taking prisoners. But not entirely sure if I really want to take prisoners for the moment. I think at the moment, I'm kind of more preferring to kill enemies. Because that is going to make things just that much easier for us in the long run. So I'm going to kind of continue with sort of that mindset for now. Borcha actually did level up. I leveled up as well, surprisingly. And let's get another point in intelligence so that you can get another point in spotting. And we can also get him another point in trainer skill. He has some pretty decent one-handed weapon proficiency as well. So I'm kind of happy about that. And we also have some more Swadian militia, Swadian man-at-arms leveling up. Jeremus is looking pretty good, but he's obviously not leveling up that much. I do need to... You know what? I'm actually going to give him a crossbow. Let's get him a crossbow, shall we? So I need to get him... Really? Is there only a bent one available here? There's only a bent one available. Alright, I'll give him a bent one then. That's not exactly what I wanted, but alright. Let's just give him some regular bolts. Okay, yeah. So I'm hopeful that he's actually even going to be able to use it, because I'm actually surprised if he has 9 in strength. He doesn't. Yeah, as I thought. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do is I'll just buy the regular bent crossbow. Basically, I just want him to have a ranged solution of some kind. I don't really care what it is, as long as he can use some kind of ranged weapon. And so that's exactly what we're doing. Anyway, I have now leveled up, surprisingly, and we're going to go for another point in intelligence. And we're going to go for some more trainer skill. And, wait a minute, there was something else that I wanted to go for as well. Pathfinding? Was it pathfinding, actually? Let me just take a quick look. No, Jeremus has pathfinding. So he technically he's technically going to be doing that. So we don't really need to do that any further. So that means that trainer skill is definitely going to be what I will do. I could go for some more tactics, but as someone very rightly pointed out on a previous episode, I think you said something like the more tactics you have and the more battle advantage that you provide your troops, the longer it's going to take to actually defeat enemy vassals that are in a large army. So for example, let's say you have 500 units, and because of your battle advantage, you're only going to be fighting 50 of them every single time you go into a battle, because of course then you have the advantage and you're making it so that the enemy spawns in with less units, and so as a result it takes just that much longer to defeat them. And of course, because we don't have any kind of super speed, you know, kind of mod installed like we do in Bannerlord, it's going to take just that much longer. So of course, I think probably leaving tactics where it is right now is probably going to be fine. I don't think we have too many worries about that. And otherwise, I'm actually thinking, shall we spec into shield? No, let's go for trainer. There we go. And then we'll just go for a little bit more in crossbows, and then we'll just go over to Urgalon Castle. I'm actually thinking we might try to take that. Might be fun. Might be fun to try out Urgalon Castle. I don't know. There's only 230 here. It very much depends. It very much depends. Actually, you know what? Should we call for another campaign and see whether we can actually... Oh, I want to end the campaign. Oh, okay. Apparently I already had a campaign running and they just left me because I went running around randomly. But yeah, hopefully we've got some people nearby and maybe they're going to be... joining us relatively soon. But yeah, my trainer skill is actually looking super nice now, so I'm pretty happy with that too, because that means that my forces are going to be leveling up just that much faster. I'm just going to check real fast. This is a ladder. Yeah, this is a ladder castle. Okay, so that's not. Yeah, let's not hold our breath with that, because I was literally just about to say, oh, it's a ladder castle. That's probably going to be easy. Yeah, any single time I say that, just remind me of Grunwalder Castle, and then I'm gonna be, oh yeah. I'm gonna be, oh yes. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be haunting me now for the foreseeable future. Oh my, what a terrible, terrible siege that is. I mean, mostly for the fact that there's only one entry point as well, because I don't know why you only... Yeah, I don't know why the player character only brings one siege ladder to the actual engagement. That's a bit weird in itself. And I mean, that's obviously one of the main complaints that people have about Warband siege mechanics. Because, well, I mean, you know, why would the attacking force only bring one ladder, right? You know, why would they only bring one ladder? Why would they only bring, you know, one solution to be able to get onto the battlements? It's just, it doesn't make any sense, you know. So obviously they, as I said before, they've actually made some big improvements to the siege combat in Bannerlord. Of course, there could be, in my opinion, it could be a bit better. And I'm talking mostly about other options. I'm not talking about things that are combat oriented. I'm talking about stuff like non-combat solutions to things. For example, utilizing spies to, you know, gather information on the enemy, or to poison their water wells, or to, I don't know, spread misinformation among the ranks, or something like that, and make it so that a portion of the enemy's garrison deserts the town, or something like that. I don't know. Just anything else that isn't to do with actually going in there and doing damage to the enemy's garrison in a physical way, you know, because I personally feel like the covert operations and the espionage and stuff like that, that would be so fun to participate in, at least in my opinion. Maybe you don't think so, but I think that would be a lot of fun. Anyway, yeah, well, we got some more crossbows. I didn't even need to buy one. That's hilarious. Yeah, that always happens, doesn't it? Anyway, we do have some wonderful level ups for our Swadian Knight, and we've got a bunch of other people leveling up here as well. Where did these oh yeah, we got mountain bandits beforehand, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, I should have probably let those guys go instead of letting the Swadians go, but oh well, never mind. Okay, yeah, so I did call for the campaign. We're going to just pop our heads in to Urgelon Castle, and we're going to see exactly what's going on there. I would like one of my vassals to turn up, but they don't seem to want to do that. So I'm just going to go in here myself. Ooh, this is actually not bad. This is actually alright. Okay, it should be alright. I shouldn't really say this is going to be alright or not, because it might very well turn out to be one of the worst ever, but I think we should be okay. It very much depends on a number of factors. It depends on if I get shot in the face. Oh, wow. Okay, I literally just called it. Okay, yeah, I just very literally at that exact moment got shot in the face as soon as I said that. And now I am... now I need to play super passively. Oh, I hate that. Oh, that is really sad. Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, because I always say anyone, right? Anyone can survive and anyone can participate in a siege if you just play passively, of course, because obviously in Warband, if you don't have, you know, the mod that allows you to play after you have been eliminated, or shall we say allows the battle to continue after you've been eliminated, then of course you're going to need to play more conservatively in comparison to playing a bit more audaciously, a bit more fun, you know, going in there, fighting around and so on and so forth, and just throwing all caution to the wind. That kind of thing is cool and fun, in my opinion, to be able to do that. But as it stands, if you have that kind of situation where you go in and then instantly get shot in the face, oh, that just absolutely, that says everything, you know? That says absolutely everything. Okay, now I'm getting focused down by the enemy crossbowman over there. Not a big fan of that, gotta say, but my forces are actually doing remarkably well. They seem to be quite aggressive in this particular siege. I don't know what's gotten into them. Maybe something in the water. I don't know. Maybe they had something last night before we went into this battle. Maybe they rested well or something. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Apart from the fact that there are many crossbowmen over there, I feel like we're actually going to win this with very minimal casualties. And this is exactly my point. I feel like it's a bit strange the way that the ladders change their style so dramatically, because if you've actually taken a look at this ladder over here, you could see it's dramatically different from the one that we used in Grunwalder Castle. Grunwalder Castle's ladder is about one person wide, so it's literally a single file. So you basically go in a single file to your death, which is pretty much how it works. And this one, you can have two people next to each other, which I think definitely makes a big difference, but maybe it's not really the reason why we would even do well here. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, anyway, I'm just going to try and survive this if at all possible. There we go, thank you. Oh dear, okay. Gonna get shot. Am I gonna get shot? No. Okay, I'm okay. I've got to be really careful about this, actually, because I really don't want to get eliminated just when we are about to win. That guy is... How is he so irritating? Look at this fellow right there. He's standing up there in such a way so that he can actually shoot over the edge right down at me, which is hilarious. Oh, that guy thought he had me. That guy thought he really had me. Okay. No such luck, sir. There we go. Oh, that was a headshot. That was a headshot. That is unbelievable. Okay. That is very unbelievable. Never would have expected that to be a headshot shooting from below him. Okay. Interesting. That's some very interesting hitboxes going on there. All right. Anyway, yeah, thankfully it seems like my Swadian Knights have now gone around and eliminated most of the crossbowmen in that little archery nest over there. And I believe we are now done. Look at that. Look at how easy this was in comparison to Grunwalder Castle. And everything's exactly the same. The settings are exactly the same. The enemies are exactly the same, most of them, I guess. And my own forces are exactly the same. I haven't done anything dramatically different, with the exception of the siege layout itself. That is so incredibly eye-opening. And I say, after after thousands of hours of playing this game, you know, the siege layout, of course, I mean, I know that the siege layout makes a difference, of course, but I wouldn't have thought that it would have made such a massive impact, really. It's actually kind of incredible. Anyway, Lord Aodin is going to be getting this one. Krahask and Nelag, they need things. Oh, it's gonna start doing that thing now, isn't it? Yeah, you know that thing that happens in Warband when you get a good amount of vassals, eventually it's gonna turn into this thing where it's basically just it's like a popularity contest pretty much, where you're just consistently trying to appease everyone and you can never do it. You know, you can never do it. You can never appease everyone. Someone is always going to be irritated or annoyed that you gave a fief to some other person. Yeah, that happens almost all the time. Oh well, never mind. Hopefully we're going to have a pretty decent time of things and they won't see fit to leave us or something. That would be kind of awful. Anyway, yeah, Wurcheg. Wurcheg's now gone from very rich to rich. That's not too bad, obviously. I mean, literally, it being very rich to begin with and giving me so much money is... partially the reason why we're having such a good time of things, I guess. But otherwise, let's go in here against this fellow. I don't actually have a full strength army right now, which is a little bit maybe a bit worrying. I don't think we need to worry too much because I have 39 cavalry. Okay, yeah, we don't need to worry that much then. But it depends. I don't know. I didn't take a look at the enemy's composition, but as I've said before, if you can actually eliminate a vassal, and even though this is Warband where things are a bit magical, and I'm talking about the way that vassals gain their armies, because of course they gain them out of thin air most of the time. That's the point. Even though that is the case, they are still going to be running around with a much less powerful army if you continually eliminate them again and again. Because otherwise they're going to be able to level up those forces that they gain. They're going to get sharpshooters out. They're going to get, you know, sergeants and things like that. And in the case of the Swadians, you're of course going to be fighting Swadian knights more often, which is definitely something that you don't want to do. So it's actually really good for us to try and keep the vassals, well, combat strength as low as it possibly can be. Anyway, that is indeed a victory for us once again, and I'm not going to be taking any prisoners. We don't really have any prisoner management as it is, and there we go. All right, so let's just continue leveling these people up. Going to go for some more mercenary horsemen. I think that sounds pretty, yeah, that sounds pretty good, I guess. And we'll just go for more of these, more hired blades, and there we are. All right, so everything's looking pretty nice so far. Obviously, this is very early days in our invasion of the Rhodoks, and nothing's really very much happening back in Reformian territory. They're not really able to do anything because we just keep them pinned down. We just keep them pinned down so dramatically that they can't really do much. Although, to be fair, they did loot this one village, but I think in general, if they did loot something, then it's very lucky for them to do that. Otherwise, that's going to be it for this episode. We're going to try and take Veluca in the next one, and we're still going to see if we can actually do something there. I think they actually captured one of my people. I think they did. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.